What's going on, Brookie Nation? We are here with you, live, but not really live. Like, we're live, but it's not live
almost
to you.
Live.
We're almost live. We're like live.
The day before being live.
It is true. This is the day before being live. That's a good point.
We're like an hour before being live.
Like a few hours. What's going on? This is the Storybrooke Circus. I am the Mackie Mouse.
I am Isla.
And this is your Once Upon a Time podcast. We are reviewing the entire show, every episode by episode, one at a time, and really breaking it down. We're getting some behind the scenes action in there. This one is going to be a really, really fun one. But this is a momentous occasion because for the first time for the second time we're doing a season premiere, but for the first time we are transitioning from one season to another because we finally finished season 1, which I'm very excited about. Very excited about. Season
You
finale.
say finally, but I feel like we just started the show. Like, I cannot believe, like, I think about it and I'm like, wow, we're 20. This is what, our 24th episode?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Episode 24. Which is crazy too that we've
How
done 24
fast does time go by? Like
yeah.
24 episodes?
24 episodes ago, we were like, nobody's going to listen to this garbage. Nobody cares about a 10-year-old
24
show.
episodes ago, we were like, are we going to do this?
Should we should we let anyone else listen to the trash that's coming out of our mouths right now?
Yeah.
And look, you guys showed up and you have
You're still showing up?
You're continuing to show up. We just looked at the numbers. We just passed 4,600 plays lifetime, which is outstanding.
3 new friends joined the Discord today,
like a few hours ago. Yeah, at the same time, which is also wild, like within a few hours of each other. So things are really starting to pick up. And so we want to take the opportunity to thank you guys for supporting us. You guys are showing this outpouring of love that we, share this love of the show together, and we all found each other and found a place that we can all talk about it openly and freely. Speaking of which, just if you happen to be new here, check out in the show notes or on our Instagram or on our link tree, which we will talk about in a few minutes, where to find all those things. But the Discord is where it's at. That's where all the conversation is happening. So you'll see a link in the show notes to join the Discord. Feel free to come in anytime and talk to the rest of us brookies about what's going on with the episodes and life and all random kind of stuff. But we'll get into that in a minute. But YouTube, I guess we always have to say hello to YouTube. We don't want to just like go by and not say hi to you guys because you can see us.
But Mackie.
But Isla.
How was your trip? Okay,
my trip. Let's talk about life stuff. I just recently came back from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas. So we took a 6. Are you good?
Just knocked the sign down.
We took a little vacation. 6 days. We did a Tuesday.
Little. That's like quite a vacation.
Yeah,
actually.
It is quite. Yeah, we don't really do the like 3 or 4 day kind of thing, which is funny because we live in Florida, where it's like we're close to beaches everywhere.
You live where we vacation.
Right. You should be able to just do like little weekend trips and stuff, but we don't do it that often. We save that time and money up so that we can like when we go, we can go. And like we went all the way to the West Coast. And jet lag is real, y'all. Jet lag is crazy in both directions. This direction obviously is way worse because it's really early and you're like spent. But going in the other direction, it wasn't terrible because we got to get up really early in the morning and like get a lot done and feel productive with our day.
I loved that when I was on the West Coast. I felt like I was a better human. I was like, me getting up at 5 a.m. and making a tea. Wow. Look at me. I'm going to go read a self-help book. Like here, I'm 100%. Like, it's 9:30 and I'm struggling to stay alive.
Yeah, that's me, except like 11 a.m. because dragon ass. But but the actual trip was fantastic. This is the first trip that we have taken since, for those of you who don't know, my wife, her handles online are Dream Along with Taryn, Taryn. And she is, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but she is legitimately an online personality. She's a social media influencer. She gets paid from companies to promote products and events and all these kinds of things. That's kind of one of her side jobs, although it's not her main gig, but that is a thing that we do. We have a legitimate business where we that's kind of how we make our money. And while none of this vacation was sponsored necessarily, this is the first vacation that we've taken since we have done that kind of work. So we were actually able to vlog rather, every single day of the trip. We did one per day. I say we. Taryn did the entire thing. And I'm extremely, extremely proud of her. She is putting them up on her YouTube, which is the same name, Dream Along with Taryn.
Day one just got released
Day
today.
one just got released, yeah. And she was editing them on her phone, like during the trip. Like they're like,
oh, what a champ.
Like I hate to like spoil it. They're all done. We're just releasing them one at a time, but she's done.
What?
Like, yeah, she did them basically the next day. Anytime we had downtime, or essentially right before bed, she would clean it up. She would find a song and she would go in. We use a program called InShot, which again, not sponsored, but that's the one that we use. And because you can do like graphics and you can strip audio and do all these things. But yeah, she was doing them the next day, and I'm pretty sure she never got behind. And while she's taping the second day, she's busy editing the first day, just on the go, like on her phone. Like That's impressive. We're at a restaurant, we're waiting for food. She's, in there kind of putting shots together. If we're waiting on an elevator, if we're just hanging out, we have any kind of downtime. I don't know how she did it. It's incredible. So definitely check it out. I'm impressed. If you want to see some details about our vacation. We didn't do the here's what you should do in Vegas. We really didn't do it that way. It's more of a journal memoir type of thing, where we were just like kind of journaling. Those are my favorite type. Oh, me too. It doesn't feel
They make me feel like very 90s like home video where dad would just show up with the giant camera on every family vacation. Yeah. I love them. That's how I have always done like all of my like vlog things where it's just like
same. It's just experiencing.
And that's what I like to watch. Like my primary YouTube is like Disney cruise vlogs, obviously. And I don't care. This is the top 10 eats of, I'm like, I don't.
But you know what?
I know you're all going to have the same stuff. Like, I know you're all going to be telling me the same snack that I need to be trying. But like, show me your experience. I want to know.
And like what is the thing that made your vacation unique to you? Like why? Because everybody is going to get something different out of it. Everybody, they like different things. We go to Vegas. We don't club because neither one of us do that. We're not super heavy drinkers, and we're getting older now, so we can't even drink like we used to drink. So it's even worse. So it's not like we're drinking all. You know how some people go on vacation, they drink from the minute they get up until they go to sleep. Yes. Like it's just all day. We can't. Even if we tried, we would be violently ill, and our vacation would be ruined. So we're not really doing that. Everybody is like big on the weed is legal in Vegas. You can just walk up and get. We didn't do any of that. Like we don't really do a lot of that stuff. We really go to Vegas for shows, and we don't really gamble a ton. We gambled some, like I don't know, less than $100.
That's not gambling to me.
No. We didn't do like thousands of dollars or anything like that, and we weren't doing like big max bets on $100 bills. Like we weren't doing any of that stuff. We do slots, just stupid arcade stuff, right? And like. We won like a couple $100, like really small stuff, and it was just for fun. Like we weren't trying to like repay our mortgage or anything with that money.
Right.
So we really go to Vegas for the shows and shopping and food, and basically why we go to most places that we go to is for entertainment and for eating. And Vegas, we just treated no different. We took a lot of pictures, but the fact that we were able to vlog every day, huge achievement. I want to put the shout out to Taryn.
That's amazing.
Anybody who's done any kind of video editing at all or any kind of social media video content knows that vlogging every single day is very, 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 very difficult. And she did it almost entirely on her own. Like I helped her shoot some stuff and give her extra shots, but she did most of the ideas and the editing and all that stuff on her own. So that
like
was
this is great for you two, but like how great is this going to be when you're old?
Well, when we go down those YouTube holes, when we first met, vlogged basically the entire beginning of our relationship. Every date, when we would go out to Disney. So if you really want a peek in, we have a channel called Adventures with Macron, which was supposed to be a mashup of our names, Mackie and Taryn. And a lot of our first dates and stuff are on there, of like when we used to go to Universal and go hang out.
I'm gonna go watch all of those when
They're
I get off
not great. Taryn's current videos are way better.
I don't care.
But
I don't care.
There's a lot of random cute stuff on there, and that we really put on there so that we could go back and rewatch it. And we found out that a lot of people who like us as personalities online, and people who are friends with us, obviously, really enjoyed not just living vicariously through us, but like watching us hang out with each other in the parks. And I was like,
become
I
you.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, I didn't think anybody would care.
Mackie and Taryn, which is crazy.
So yeah, vlogging is deep in this family over here. And unfortunately, my life has gotten a lot more crazy and a lot more dense, and work has gotten nuts. And so vlogging is a little bit harder for me because I can't wrap my head around it without getting really stressed out. And she kind of picked up the torch. And so at least if I kind of trailed off with it and I'm doing other things like this podcast and other projects, that work doesn't stop because she's kind of now taken up that legacy and kind of moved on with it. So
she's killing it.
She is doing way better than I ever have. I've been doing video editing for one way or another for 15 years. She picked it up. I taught her when I first met her 5 years ago, and she started doing it professionally maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3. And she's doing better than I ever have in my entire career. So I'm really, really, really proud of her at this scale, like this YouTube level. Like I do TV commercials and like bigger stuff, sure. But this like, every man's YouTube kind of level, she is blowing me out of the water, and I just can't be more proud. Anyway, I'll just be here for an hour and a half talking about how proud of my wife I am. So we should probably move on to the things people actually came here to listen to, which is Once Upon a Time, the award-winning
we're
ABC
recording a podcast
television show. Isla always forgets that we're recording a podcast. She thinks we're just on like a friend checkup call because that's how we talk to each other.
He says that like we don't do that.
No, we do that. In fact, I FaceTimed Isla yesterday at where I was because we
had a double date last night.
We did. It was kind of exciting. And
I ate ramen.
You
not
did
the fancy kind, the 89-cent orange
amazing.
bag ramen from the grocery store.
Hold on, before we get into Once Upon a Time, let me set the scene for you, okay? We are having severe post-vacation depression, right? We want to go back somewhere. We're like, work. She's a teacher. She's going to start going into work soon. Very difficult, and we're still in this weird COVID, Pandora's box spinning around. And my work is getting crazy. Hate coming back. We want to go back on vacation. So we took the time a couple days before she was going to go to work to go to Epcot and have a nice little night out. We were starving. We went and did some food and wine booths. It was a fantastic little date. And at the end of it, we weren't even planning on it, but we happened to pass by as fireworks were starting. And as we do, Isla and I are texting constantly every minute of the day. And while we were just talking about nothing in the park, we're texting back and forth. I literally am like, what the hell am I doing? There's literally Disney fireworks going off in front of me. So I just immediately, with no pretext, I said, oh, hey, in all capital letters, and then just FaceTimed her, which I'm sure looked crazy.
I didn't even see the hey one until after. I literally just saw you were FaceTiming, and I was like, I'll answer.
And here's the sign of the level of friendship that Isla and I are at. It was 10, a little after 10 p.m. on a random weekday. And Isla was like, oh, sure, I'll answer this FaceTime call randomly. With no question whatsoever.
Just know, for anyone listening, I am a true ride or die. So if something is going on, I will answer the call or the phone at any time because I worry about people. So like, this could have been an emergency. I don't know why he would have FaceTimed me.
And we're not, by the way, we're not young FaceTimey type of friends. Like we don't, like I know a lot of people just like, they FaceTime the way that Isla and I text. Like you and I, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just when you want to talk to somebody, just and it's weird because I watch them FaceTime and then hold the phone towards the ceiling like this. I'm like, why did you FaceTime this person? Just call them. That's such a weird.
Just call them.
So I FaceTimed her, and then to her surprise, I didn't even show myself. It was just literally mid-show fireworks were going off, and her face lit up, and we watched the fireworks together. Taryn then saw me FaceTime Isla, got jealous hilariously, and then like not really, but went on Instagram.
Not that kind.
Yeah. No, not that kind.
We need to preface this. Hold on, wait.
Right. That probably didn't sound good.
Will Smith. We need your Will Smith.
Wait, where is he? Here he is.
Yeah. It's rewind time.
We'll explain that later. But she was like, I want to have fun too and do video thing, because she was taping video like on her camera roll, and she was like, oh, okay. So she goes on Instagram Live while I'm now FaceTiming Isla. So now Isla and her husband are watching fireworks on my phone while Taryn is on Instagram Live, and we were just both like serving the people. And we're like, we haven't done that in a long time because we used to live stream all the time, like Periscope.
And I was eating ramen.
And then Isla just pulls out this bowl, and I'm like, oh shit, did she make popcorn? Like, is she like ready to ride right now?
I'm ready for this.
And then she pulls this fork out of like full ramen things just coming out of this bowl, and I'm like, this is kind of the perfect moment right now. It's like we come back from vacation and it felt, even though Isla and I do not live in the same place, it felt like we were coming home to our friends. That we were just like,
yeah,
it was so nice to just like kind of the closure of like coming back from vacation. Anyway, I don't even know how did we even get onto that subject? This is what podcasts. I don't
know. We're recording a podcast.
Whatever. So says us. We'll see if anyone actually listens to the first 20 minutes of the show. It's fine.
Somebody is listening and they're like, are they going to put a timestamp in the show notes for when this actually starts?
You know what? Okay, this is why I don't feel bad about this anymore, because we are now in season 2, and every single time we've ever mentioned anything about time on this show, every single person unanimously has said that they like when we ramble and they like when the shows are long. So I'm not apologizing anymore for...
I was not apologizing.
Us having fun. To be clear.
To be frank.
To be really clear, that's not what
I don't care.
Okay. So, Once Upon a Time is an ABC television show that we all love. It's about fairy tale people in the real world, or the land without magic, according to them. Or according to the very first episode, like the shittiest land everywhere. We sent fairy tale characters to like the worst land ever. Maine. So we're going to dive into our very first segment of the show, which is dedicated to all of our listeners, and it's called the Storybrooke Daily Mirror. We missed you. Storybrooke Daily Mirror, a fictional newspaper that all of you get to contribute to so that we can hear from you. We want to hear how you're enjoying the show. We want to hear... boy, did you guys turn out.
This is the longest newspaper you have ever picked up, let me tell you.
The season finale really brought out the feisty and in the best possible way. Like, everybody had a lot of thoughts about it. And we are so excited to share them with you. Before we share any, we want to talk to the people who maybe haven't contributed yet in all of season 1, or maybe our new people who want to get in on this action. So Isla, take it away. Tell the people how they can contribute to the Storybrooke Daily Mirror.
Are you listening to the Storybrooke Circus and want to sign on to another project called the Storybrooke Daily Mirror? Do you want to have your voice on the air? Do you want to have your words on the air?
This is our QVC commercial right now.
I can make that happen for you. For the small price of $0, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, man.
If you write words, we will read it on the air. For the small price of $0, you can download the Instagram app and send us a DM at the SBC Pod. Once again, I know, I can't believe I'm just giving these things away. For $0,
3
you
easy
can email us
$0.
at thesbcpod@gmail.com. And most importantly, international rates may apply. We have a phone number that you can use. That phone number supports voicemails and text messaging.
Correct.
Incredible, I know. I'm going to pass it over to my good co-host, Mackie, where he will provide the phone number where you can call. Again, $0, but standard text messaging rates may apply. International rates may apply. Please seek your carrier for additional details.
Okay. Thanks, Isla. So the phone number is 207-536-8512. Once again, 207-536-8512. Back to you, Isla.
Hey, thanks so much, Mackie, for passing that over to me. Hope you're having a great day. What else can they do to join the deal?
We don't rehearse this, by the way, and Isla has successfully surprised and made me laugh every single time. She makes these up on the fly, and I am never ready for them. But she's giving you all accurate information. These are the ways that you can, I think we got all of them. Instagram, email.
I think that wraps us up for tonight. So again, call us, beep us, if you want to reach us on our email, phone number, Apple Podcast reviews, Discord, or Instagram.
That's it.
XOXO.
Oh my God. So good. And the crowd goes wild.
Wait, I need a sound bit for the Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
I just need Kristen Bell going, XOXO.
I'm going to write it in my list. XOXO. Okay. Also, there was a Mackie
There have been some
effect.
contributions for SBC, like actual, not SBC, Once Upon a Time sound bits, I think.
Yeah, so we have to do whatever stupid sound I made for when Monstro came out, apparently is, I don't know.
Oh, yes. Welcome to our staff meeting, guys, where we discuss the future of the show.
But there was somebody else recommended a sound effect too, and I can't remember what it was. It wasn't that.
Yeah, I know Mel said that the sound for the whale,
right? And
then there was another one too. I can't remember what. I think it was something that Henry said.
Oh, that was a future one. Yeah, we'll go find that. I apologize. I now have a notebook and I'm keeping track as people contribute things that I need to do and go get. I have not added stuff to the sound effect library, so I apologize that in this season premiere we do not have any new sound effects, but we will in the next couple weeks. But it's fine. It's fine because the ones that we have right now are working great. So first up, we're going to go into our Instagram DMs where we got a couple of amazing messages from people who I'm guessing were discovering. I guess they were discovering us on Instagram because they are people that we don't know. And they left pretty lengthy messages on there. So I guess we can start with Shelby Lee. And I'm going to share that with us now.
Before I read Shelby's thing, you signed we share the Instagram, obviously.
We do.
So we have access to it, and both of us, and we sign off when we're talking to people so they know who the hell they're talking to. Mac? Who's calling you Mac?
Did I write that? Oops. I didn't feel like I was lazy and I didn't feel like writing the whole thing out. I did do that.
Over and out, Mac.
Well, Shelby knew who I was.
Okay. All right. It wasn't me, that's for damn sure.
Thank you for keeping me honest, though. I appreciate that.
Right, so sorry, there's a couple here. There's two. First one, she's still in season 1. She can't believe she says y'all. Shelby, please tell us where you're from. We need to know these things. She wants us to add to the drinking game every time a car runs off the road in exactly the same spot. Obviously, it is by the leaving Storybrooke sign.
Yeah.
I think that's a great
Approved.
Addition to the drinking game. We're adding it.
Approved.
I know the town's cursed, but how have they not put up a safety barrier after 3 cars all wrecked in the same place? You think they'd look into it a bit more. There is some corruption going on in the local government in Storybrooke. I completely agree. And then she sent a message yesterday. Oh my gosh, I just love this podcast so much. I've been binging it since Friday, 6 days ago, and I'm terrified of getting caught up. Oh no.
Yeah,
no.
She actually wrote out all the oh no's, but I'll play it.
Thank you. I need as many 3+ hour episodes as I can get to make it through my 8-hour workday. Heard that, girlfriend. I'm currently on episode 14, What Happened to Frederick, and your interview question got me thinking. This was wild to me. She had 2 questions, and they had 2 parts each. What fairy tale characters are y'all most like, and what story would you most want to be in?
All right.
So we'll answer those before we get into the second one.
Yeah, let's do those first. So what fairy tale characters are we most like? We answered a similar question before this, I believe. Weren't we talking about I don't remember what the context of the question was, but I remember us talking about characters.
Yes. I unfortunately feel as though I am a Regina.
What are we most like? I feel like I'm random. I'm like freaking sleepy, like someone who doesn't do anything.
No, I don't think that you're like sleeping.
I'm a background actor.
You're like Archie.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I do end up being my friend's kind of therapist sounding board when they're going through stuff.
You're not calling people. You don't call me crazy, so I'm thankful for that.
No, but I do speak in philosophy sometimes because life is hard.
I would consider you a Jiminy.
I'll take that. Archie's a good guy.
My petty level is off the charts where I can almost kind of see where Regina is coming from, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna take one for the team on that one. And just...
As much as I want to be August, I'm not cool enough for that. Marco's too old. I'm not charming. He's got too much ambition. Not sticking my neck out like that.
We don't dream of labor.
Rumple's no. No. Rumple's way too like aggressively sinister.
What story would you most want to be in?
What story like full fairy tale?
I think like
story?
fairy tale story.
They're all so sad though.
I know.
They're so sad. Like Charming loses the love of his life, Romeo and Juliet style. That's horrifying. All the kings and stuff are all like, Leopold dies by snake. Like the genie gets trapped in a mirror.
You know what? Could I be
I don't know any of these people.
What's Catherine's name in the Enchanted Forest?
Abigail?
Okay, I mean, I know it took a hella long time, but she did get her happy ending eventually.
I mean, they all eventually get it, but what she had to suffer in the meantime.
What was her true hell? Her love of her life was a statue for a little bit. A hot minute. And she stayed loyal, which is like...
True. That's a good one.
I'm going to pick Abigail.
I don't even know who I'd pick right now.
No one died in her story. He was just turned into a statue.
That's true. That's true. I have a little bit of a harder time. And the reason is because I feel like the character who I would... Like the story I would want to be in hasn't happened yet in Once Upon a Time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the cooler characters.
Do you want to put a pin on it?
I feel like I should, and I'll give a decent reason why. We have the dwarfs, right? Who a lot of manual labor, no thank you, and like trouble with her. The Snow White Charming storyline, no way. The Red Riding Hood stuff, graphic and violent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The like Zozo dark, the dark one stuff, no thanks. The Beauty and the Beast stuff, entrapment and kidnapping and all this other crazy shit.
Stockholm syndrome? Absolutely not.
There's a lot of like aggressive ones in the beginning. I'm like, none of those people necessarily there, but there are some characters coming up soon that I feel like I could get down with.
All right, so we'll pin that.
Yeah. But I would love to, I don't know how we're going to remember to come back to this, but that's a really great question. And by the way,
someone
please,
will remind us.
Anyone who wants to answer these questions, answer in the Discord or call us and text us those numbers because we want to hear your answers too.
So the second question is, if you were in Regina's curse, what would your doppelganger name? Yes. What would your name be, and what would your profession be?
If you were in Regina's curse, so like in Storybrooke, what would we be doing?
Yeah.
So that means you have to establish what you were doing in the Enchanted Forest. You can figure out what the close thing to that is. You know what I mean? Because everybody, if you actually look at it, everybody in Storybrooke, with the exception of somebody there's somebody who contributed to a text message that we'll get to in a few minutes, who talks about who runs the shop, which one of the dwarfs run the shop. But with the exception of that, pretty much everybody else is doing something like loosely related to what they would have been doing back in the Enchanted Forest. Rumpelstiltskin collecting little relics of magic. So now he's collecting pawn shop stuff. Archie was Jiminy Cricket. Now he's a therapist, and so on and so forth. Geppetto still works with his hands. So what the real question is, what would you be doing in the Enchanted Forest? And then how do we adapt that to a non-magical land?
I think I would be, I don't know though, because I think I would be the town's like lawyer.
Okay. That feels good. Like
I don't know what I would be in the Enchanted Forest to equate that.
But no, I mean, no, the town's lawyer would be decent. I would
like Storybrooke's lawyer.
I would want to be like. Oh, but we gotta think though. Regina's curse is also set up to make everybody miserable.
Hate their life.
I mean, being a lawyer.
Oh, I can tell you what I would be if Regina wanted to make my life miserable.
Please tell us. I know what it is. Everybody's got cars. Everybody needs.
And as Shelby just mentioned, everybody keeps on crashing their cars.
Them. That's true.
It's claims. Auto claims.
But auto claims.
And you know who insures in Maine? I'm not going to say it.
But it has to be auto claims that are just like constant nightmares, like not
the
easy
worst
claims,
Yeah, no, like questionable liability, coverage issues.
Yeah,
like
just nightmare insurance claims all the time. It's just
irate. Everyone's irate when they call in.
Yeah,
like it's just
that's a great a curse.
And you're always on mandatory overtime.
Yeah. I think some kind of curse would be like forever manual labor. Something where it's just like a trapped,
No, you're just trapped in the plot of Dirty Dancing where there's no music. So you literally get that completely taken from you.
Yeah, no, that's true because I am a very musically driven person, so I feel like that's probably pretty accurate. All right, my doppelganger. Oh, what would your doppelganger name be?
It would be something extremely boring. Okay. Like, I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah, something really shitty like Jack.
Okay, not even like just like extremely common. Like my name is Isla and it's not even spelled how everyone else spells it. My middle name is also very unique, and then my maiden name is like super French, and my married name Sikorski is, we know, Polish.
Right.
But
right.
So like it would just be like Sam. Not a terrible name, but like gender neutral. Everyone knows 6 of them. Like just Sam.
I think mine would probably be something that has a really bad taste in your mouth, like Chad or Brad or some like really great. You know what I mean?
Not a Chad Brad.
Or like, I don't know. Again, you don't want to offend anybody, right? But it would have to be something.
Okay,
like
I use Chad Brad as an example for every shitty name. So
Chad Brad is male
so
Karen,
sorry.
Right? Isn't that like?
No, Chad Brad is from Zeta Kappa Delta 1728.
Okay, got it.
He is hated as much as a Karen.
Right.
But he is not like a Karen.
But yeah, in a very different way, in a very much more, I think, a toxic way than.
Yes.
Karens are pushovers, but Chad Brads are dangerous. I think. Chad
Brads are gonna slip something in your drink at the bar.
That's what I mean.
Like Chad Brads are scary.
Oh man, we have just offended. We're gonna be losing followers after this.
Okay, I'm sorry. If your name is Chad Brad, why are you listening to the show? Like you are clearly ripping your shirt off physically and like doing a keg stand right now. Like you're not listening to the Once Upon a Time podcast.
Man, that's amazing. All right. Well, yeah, doppelganger
Chad Brad.
name.
Is that your final answer?
Or is it? How about like Zach? Like someone who could have been someone cool but just didn't make it. And then
That's spelled Z-A-K.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just Z-A-K. Like
Zach.
Yeah. Okay.
Zach. Because I'm like Mac, so I'd be like Mackie. So it'd be like Zach would be like a... Yeah, I feel like it'd be a decent doppelganger. And then just trapped in a place where like music is not a thing. Just a dirty dancing.
Digging holes.
Digging holes, yeah. Just chopping trees down, building houses.
Just a little Shia LaBeouf with no music.
Yeah, that feels like hell. What?
And then what item would help regain your memories back?
See, so this was an easier question for me to answer because I have a lot of things that mean a lot to me as a musician.
I'm a very sentimental person.
Me too. I play saxophone. I play drums. So either one of those things would definitely mean a lot to me. I'm also a photographer, so a camera would... You know what I actually just thought of would be my doppelganger or my cursed profession would be where I would still be a photographer, but everything that I take pictures of is just not working. Like it's all like I would have to like, I hate that this is it, but like as a photographer, like it's the equivalent of like PhotoPass where you don't really get to be creative, right? But you're forced to just take pictures of people who don't know how to be in front of a camera all day long. Like that really truly is like you have to do the thing that you're passionate about, but not be allowed to do it in a way that fuels your passion. And I think taking pictures of amateurs, but like not like happy engagement couples, super easy to take pictures of them. If they've never been in front of a camera before, still they love each other. So you can get that out. But we're talking like taking pictures of like soccer teams for their yearbook. You know what I mean? Like there's just nothing creative or exciting about it.
You're just like, the life touch photographer.
Exactly.
Like, at school.
Exactly. And so in that case, the item that would regain my memory would be like a vintage type of camera, or a very specific camera, that's not my day-to-day one, or something that I, some camera related thing.
I feel like my moment and thing that would bring me back, I've actually put some real thought into this, is because this is a curse, Bart and I are probably not together in Storybrooke because we're happily ever after. I would see him somewhere and he would be like reaching for something, like say in the grocery store, and I would see, because we would still have our tattoos. I don't know why I'm making this up.
I like this. This is
we would see I would see one of our, because we have multiple matching tattoos, and I would have like that Raven Baxter like vision moment where everything would come swarming back in.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of like the Terran aspect of it, because we also have matching tattoos also. I'll show you too.
Yeah.
For a second.
So I would like casually see it while I'm like reaching for the hot and spicy Cheez-Its, and I would be like,
ooh, okay, that says always. Just take my word for it, because I can't show it on camera correctly. And she has one too, and they're written in each other's handwriting. So I feel like some dumb Harry Potter always reference would be the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the Deathly Hallows with always underneath it would be the thing that would be like, oh, that's really sweet. I like that a lot. You made it about Bart. I'm a bad husband. I didn't even think about it. I was like, I'm by myself, being a photographer and a musician.
A shitty photographer with no music. Like,
and she's like, my happily ever after husband. I'm like, oh crap. Oh God, Shelby, thank you for putting us through the exercise of showing me what a bad husband I am. No, these are great questions. I really love these kind of thought experiments, especially with this show where you kind of put yourself in the shoes of other characters. And, you know, we had questions about like which, you know, outfit do you like the best, and you would be in like, I love that you guys are bringing that to the table, to the conversation, because it's really fun.
It's fun.
And please participate. Anybody, I know we have some better answers than what we just gave out there. I know some people with some time to think are going to be like, I know what my doppelganger would be. So
tell us what your names are. Please make them better than Sam and Zach.
Oh yeah, Sam and Zach. But would we still be best friends in Storybrooke? I feel like Archie and
it's a curse.
Archie and Marco were.
Oh, true. Well,
are we Archie and Marco?
Okay, are Archie and Marco? Let's get into some real, therapy talk here. Are Archie and Marco friends, or
is that like his client? I guess
Archie just have like a guilty conscience, so he just like is
but
forever
he didn't know
indebted
though. Archie
to him.
didn't know.
I know, but it's still like working.
Do you think the curse would have made him still be a servant somehow?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm calling us Archie and Marco, and we're still going to be best friends in Storybrooke because we need something to hold on to.
Fair.
Where we still manage to talk shit in Storybrooke.
Absolutely.
The same way we did in the Enchanted Forest. Some things don't change, and that's one of them.
Some things never change.
That's it too. She always sings.
That's my curse. I actually just break out into song. That's everybody else's curse. Is I will just be doing something random, and I'm like, forgiveness.
What's her name?
Could you imagine?
Okay, that's a real retelling of a story that happened today or yesterday, where I said the
4
word
hours
forgiveness.
ago.
Yeah, I said the word forgiveness, and she started singing that. What is it with the girl from Enchanted, the Amy Adams character?
Oh yeah, I don't know her name, but yes.
I forget to. Ella? No, not Ella. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Well, anyway, we have another. Thank you again, Shelby Lee. We're gonna give you our.
We got through one.
We did it. We have so many. So now we also have Jessica Maria, who also messaged us on Instagram with a little love note, which I really like for us.
Yeah, and Jessica just joined the Discord today. So hello, welcome aboard. I also think that you are Poison Jess from Apple Podcast Reviews. Don't know, let us know.
Possibly,
whatever.
Yeah, it seems like it would line up.
I just wanted you guys to know that I love the podcast and all of the time and effort you put into the behind the scenes stuff. Shout out to Becky. I just finished my first time watching the whole series, so it's great re-listening it with people who I feel like could be my friends in real life. We are friends in real life, Jessica. I'm only on episode 5, but I'm slowly binging them. I just have to say that I totally agree. Leverage is totally underrated series and one of my faves ever.
Yes.
Keep up the great work, and I already got you that 5-star review. Thank you. So it was you. Okay.
Oh,
great.
Okay. Yeah.
Please do Lost after this in a couple of years. Girl, we're doing it now.
Oh my God, I'm so excited when she catches up and realizes that we made her dreams come true. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah, she's slowly binging. Oh my God, she has no idea.
She's only on episode 5. I'm like, no one in the Discord tell her. Let's let her discover it organically.
I'll be a listener for as long as you guys decide to do these recap podcasts. Don't worry, girl. We're here.
Oh, we're gonna be here for a while.
Heart. Jessica, a fellow Brookie.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I'm so excited. If she's truly binging, like this is what I do. I do not go to a podcast and listen to their latest episode to like see what
I go back from the beginning.
I go back from the beginning and I watch in a row. In fact, there's a Star Trek podcast I like talk about all the time on this show that I'm still not caught up with, and they do this kind of like, you know, Patreon and shouting people out and things, and I always want to like do something to shout out, and I'm like, but if I do it now, I won't hear it for another like year because I'm not gonna go listen to the current episodes because I keep like going back to a year and a half ago to, you know, like I want to hear all of the progression of the jokes and their relationship and all this stuff, you know. So thank you for your loyalty and binging, but lucky for you, you don't have a long way to go because you're on episode 5 and we're only on 24. So are you okay?
Yes.
You know you're on video also, right?
Yeah. I was reading another Instagram DM from Danielle. Oh, damn.
Well, if you want to see.
This is a song about our podcast. I say that so I try to remember that we're recording.
Y'all, YouTube is it's going to be the new party spot. This is hilarious. Oh, yeah, that is like a super crazy long one. That Danielle one. That was. Wait a minute. Is this new? Did we discuss this yet?
Yeah, we're like, hey, could we read this? Then we didn't because we suck.
Let's talk about it now.
Okay. So anyway, hi YouTube. In case you were wondering what I was doing.
No, it's okay. That was an important. If you hadn't done that, I would have missed this for a second week in a row. So I'm glad we did. No, let's talk about it.
We're back into this. Danielle sent us a message on Instagram. Hello, Isla and Mackie. Main Street Danielle here with 2 fun facts and a name suggestion. Wow. Alan Dale was also a main character in the OC, amazing show, by the way. Mackie loves it. He has talked about it before. Yes. And had the same ridiculous accent voice in whatever he's doing in that show as well. And that show is set in Orange County, California in 2003. So while everyone else is speaking in an accent one would from California, he is talking like that.
Super weird. Why? I don't understand
emoji.
His friggin' voice coach.
We did later learn that he is from New Zealand.
Which is not Australia. I got
not Australia.
I got the smackdown for that, which I should know better, but thank you.
Danielle continues. Also, another great show is The Fosters Freeform show from 2013. I love everything on ABC Family Freeform.
Amen.
Features none other than the lost sound effect before heading to commercial breaks.
What?
It's one of my comfort shows, and I recently went back to it to use it as background noise. Shout out to the Misfits. This is the first time I've rewatched it since rewatching Lost. And I just about snapped my neck when I first heard the Lost sound at the commercial break. I would have too. I have to say, as much as I love the Fosters, the sound is a little bit dramatic for that show after hearing it used for Lost and all of the crazy shit that goes down. I agree.
That would be a lot.
It's a wild choice by them.
It is pretty wild.
Finally, I'm in the middle of episode 22 and had to pause to send this. Just had the scene where Charming and Alad Weird Accent Dale have their confrontation and Charming totally steals the scene. Also thinking back to the amaze moment when our girl Guinea Goods KOs Regina with the whole Henry forgot his lunch showdown.
Yo.
What if we called those moments scene stealers?
Love it. Love it.
Love a good alliteration.
Absolutely.
Just a thought, and also feel free to shoot it down. We're not shooting it down. Sorry for the ridiculously long message. Don't apologize. Love, love, love the pod and both of you and the mysterious pirate from season 2. I mean Hook. Okay, bye. Yes! Oh, she ended that with a banger.
Oh my God, I love that. I love
so for anyone, I hate if you know moment, so we're going to let everybody know. We, for some reason, everyone, and I mean every single human being that is on our Discord, decided that using the name Hook was off limits. And
we didn't know how far we were going to take the no spoilers thing, and everyone very respectfully like pulled all the way back and were like just hinting at things.
But it was extremely specific to Hook for some reason.
Well, because it's the very next one that we were going to encounter. You know, it was the first and
he's
real
huge.
one.
We all know that he's going to be huge, but it's just so funny because That was, I think, honestly, it's the first time we've said his name out loud on this show.
Yeah, like I think we did it at the season finale because it was in the promo. But
yes,
we didn't
like,
decide that. Like Isla and I weren't like no one did ever talk about. Everybody just kind of like naturally did it, and then we just kept letting it happen and never said anything. Eventually, we got to we're gonna have to figure out where to blur those lines and where not to, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit too. But we ended up at a place where we were going to speak freely about like people appearing in the show is no longer a spoiler. What happens with them, who they might be related to, or how they changed the original fairy tale to this common, current version. We're not going to like get into that part, so that we can still have some mystery. But I love the allusion to the spoiler wall coming down Berlin Wall style in that ending, just to be like mysterious Captain Amin Hook was like a huge just bomb dropping. Bomb dropping. That's the one. The sound effect. It was the bomb dropping.
Oh yeah.
It was bomb dropping and pouring one out for our homies. We needed a sound of liquid going out for. And I think somebody also suggested what we would call segments where we talk about people who died. We talked about that. Oh
no, that was me. I want to do the Hunger Games in memoriam.
You see, I didn't have a notebook before. Now that I do, we're never gonna forget these again. Bomb dropping, Hunger Games, memorial, and 40-ounce pour. For our homies. Guys, thank you for joining us for our mid-show staff meetings. We appreciate your
thank you so much. Meeting adjourned.
Very good. Gavel. Done. That's our Instagram messages. That was just the Instagram messages. We're almost at an hour, and we just got to the first part of it. We didn't even do production notes yet, guys. This is going to be
we didn't even finish the Daily Mirror.
We're not even halfway through the Daily Mirror yet. First of all, thank you to the people who participated in the Instagram section. If you want to DM us, you can DM us
Shelby, Jessica, Danielle, thank you so much.
We will not always directly answer those messages back. We sometimes try to, but know that we are, if they are seen and they're long like that, we're going to read them on the air. So don't feel like we're ignoring you. I promise we see them.
Yeah, even if it apparently takes 6 episodes to get to, because we are space cadets. We'll get there. So just don't give up on us.
Don't give up.
Also, don't be afraid to shoot us a triple. Triple DM.
Please keep it coming.
No,
keep it coming.
If Mackie doesn't respond to me within like 2 hours, I'm like, hey, so I saw this. Just saw this too. I'm really sorry I'm blowing up your phone, but I also saw this.
We have a really unique thread, and I appreciate that we never get mad at each other we're never like, hello, like, why aren't you answering? Or we don't keep talking about the original thing. And the funny part is, here's the trust level, right? Is that whoever the person is who's taking too long to come back will then go not just the last thing. They won't just respond to the last thing. They go all the way back and answer every single thing in order.
Those people.
What, the people only answer the last one and just ignore everything else? Yeah. Well, neither one of us do that, which I found, and that was just organically happened because we're twins. Where I've done it to you and you've done it to me, where there's been a gap in time, and each one of us has gone all the way back and replied to every single change of subject and been like, here's my thoughts, here's my thoughts, here's my thoughts. And then we start. Remember in the beginning when we were texting on Twitter DMs, Instagram DMs, all at the same time, but it was 3 different conversations we were having on each one of those platforms.
I do this with Marissa every single day. Every single day, Marissa and I have a text conversation going, with a Snapchat conversation going, with an Instagram DM conversation going, and Twitter. Yeah. And TikTok. Insane.
Yeah, actually,
literally, I could be like, this is the worst day of my life. I am bawling my eyes out. I have not stopped crying in like 6 hours. And then on Snapchat, I'll be like,
and then on TikTok, like, look at this stupid kid do this trick.
Right.
Yeah, totally. All right, so moving on to the Storybook. We're still in the Storybook Daily Mirror, but now we're getting into our phone number, right? So we have text message and voicemails. Now I'm just looking through this because we had a new person. We got a new person named Shay. Shay from Texas. was contributing ahead of time, which has never happened before. I don't hate it. It is nice because I'm just going to keep this one unarchived and go back to it. She put in, I'm assuming this is she, right? Shay. Shay's a she. Is Shay a she?
It'll go either way. So
right. We're going to say they until we find out what gender you are.
Shay, they.
Shay, they. So in this case, we have notes from episode 2 and episode 3. So we're going to be talking about episode 1 today, but some of these things, I mean, they're innocuous. They're not like super crazy spoilery, but they don't have any context outside of like those episodes. So I'm going to come back to those specific notes. But there's stuff from previous episodes, right? So the first one was in the Hansel and Gretel episode. Why is Sneezy the pharmacist instead of Doc? That's a valid question.
Honestly, excellent point. I have no notes on that. I don't know.
Does that mean that Doc is another BS doctor like Dr. Whale?
He's a Dr. Phil. Oh my gosh.
Shots fired.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
Okay, Shay. We are just going for the jugular
just
on this
going
one.
In. I love that. It's hilarious. And drink every time Dreamy/Grumpy/Leroy says sister. That's a fantastic one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My pen decided to stop working again. So we're adding that to the list. We have an episode. We have an episode 2 thing, which is really what I'm getting from this note is that I guess they want us to play a sound up during a specific line, like a "That's not my name" sound up for something that happens in episode 2. So I might actually do that because I like that that's like a plan for the future that we'll have that kind of set up. And this one, generally speaking, will come up more in season 2, but since we've already seen this character do this, I think it's appropriate to read now. Am I the only one who can't stand young Snow? She's so effing annoying. Also super damn annoying is overly optimistic adult Snow. She can somehow make her face twice as big and then she'll get nose to nose to someone. Do your part 6 feet apart, Snow.
I swear to God, everyone saw Bridge to Terabithia and was like, Bailey Madison sucks because of that one movie.
Yeah.
We need to remove that from our subconscious.
We do. I agree. I did for this I think
reboot. I did not do it for when I watched the show for the first time. But now that we're rewatching it, I did it for this. And it's a much better experience.
I am in love
with
young Snow. I mean, not...
Skinny Goods, doe eyes sometimes. I'm like... eyes are in the back of my head because I'm rolling them so hard.
Yeah. And there are some moments, and I think the moments haven't come yet. There will be some moments, I believe, towards the end of season 2, season 3, that get a little bit off track, I think, for the strong Mary Margaret character that we established in Storybrooke. Now that that's gone and the curse is broken, where we get to with Adult Snow turns a little strange. And we're not talking like Adult Snow when they're first chasing each other and meet each other and all. We're talking about after that, right? I think. Young Snow, I think, is just handed some bad cards, was too young to kind of figure out what was going on, and then it just became, playing catch up on this vendetta. And but while we're watching season 2, because Young Snow is going to reappear a few times, let's keep an eye on that. Let's see if we continue to be annoyed at Young Snow. What does the brick wall in Mary Margaret's house say? The only thing I could make out is Polish. Don't know, but we'll look for it. I like the just random, like, hey, go find this out for me. I like that.
I think it's like an old factory, so I think it might be like shoe polish or something, or like maybe it's like Polish kielbasa. Who knows?
Oh, polish. Did I literally say Polish? I'm such an idiot.
I mean, when I see that word, I say Polish.
The word is
because
polish.
Of my family. But
yes, and now I am doing it because I'm talking with you all the time.
Mackie's a Sikorsky now too.
That is really funny. I did not plan on that. This is not a capital
P. It also
P.
could be shoe polish.
It's probably polish, not the word Polish. Mackie's dumb. August W. No context to this. This text message says August W equals 8th month, and 23rd letter of the alphabet. And then the lost numbers, 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. 8, 23. And not even like, here's what August, I read that text message verbatim. August W equals 8 month, 23rd letter, lost numbers. Like, I love this like knockout punch. I'm assuming this person is probably, well, they live in Texas, so they're not international. I just like the short and succinct. The text messages are just, they're punchy. I like that.
Okay, but Shay just single-handedly wiped out the entire Wikipedia page dedicated to
Thank you. Nobody
lost
even
references.
tried.
I'm sorry. That was incredible.
We're just like, Wilkes Booth? What do you mean? Like, what are we talking about? No, it's August W.
Adam Horowitz and Edward Kitsis are over here like, let's put the number 8 on this sign. Hey.
I know, yeah.
And she's like, well, August is the 8th month and W is the 23rd letter. So those are lost references. And we're like,
just mind blown. Let's see. Oh, you want to hear something really funny?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Shay also left voicemails.
Oh my gosh.
We'll be able to hear the voice of Shay. Oh man, this show just done in the wrong orders really makes you look real dumb. We like say words and then like 2 minutes later.
Not here for a long time, but a good time.
Hell yeah. Well, let's get into our voicemails because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have 7 of them. And 2 of them are over 3 minutes. So listen, we're not shaming anybody. We just like you guys love long episodes and we get apprehensive. We're like, but do you? Because we just feel like we're rambling. I want you guys to know before I play these voicemails, because we have heard from people that everybody's apprehensive about hearing their own voice. They're worried about messing up on the voicemail on the air or whatever. This is a safe space. You are more than welcome to text us, but yeah, you're more than welcome to text us, but we love your voicemails and we will support your voice. If you fall flat on your face and just sound crazy, we're going to fully support you because you're on the team.
And like when we're over here like, oh my God, there's 7. We're not like, oh my God, there's 7. We're like, holy shit, there's 7 voicemails, like 7 people or however many people called 7 times.
But like, yeah, like this is not 7
This is
people
mind-blowing numbers to us.
Yeah, this is actually 3 people who repeatedly called back for extra stuff. That's awesome. Like, I don't want to discourage that. I think I think
it's amazing.
Why we made the Storybook Daily Mirrors, because we wanted to dedicate time to giving you guys the recognition, because
we want to know what you feel, what you're thinking.
And we wouldn't have a show without you.
Yeah, it's important to like the meat of our show.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think it's the backbone of why we're doing what we're doing. It's not the Isla and Mackie watching TV show. We're all kind of doing this together. We're all in kind of one big. We've talked about this. We're all on a couch. We're all like in a living room together and experiencing
if you're like
it
making
together.
A sandwich, you can't like not add a condiment. Like it's we're like the turkey.
Practice safe sandwich making and add condiments to. You can't not use it.
You guys are like the provolone to our turkey.
Except unless you hate provolone, in which case you're whatever cheese you like. We got to cover all our bases here.
People don't like provolone on their sandwiches.
I was giving you the only like confused, dirty look right now. What
I'm
do
sorry.
you mean?
What?
If you do, get out. I'm just kidding. All right. So first voicemail is from a longtime listener and friend. We have Jonathan from Georgia.
Hello, Mackie and Isla. It's Jonathan from Georgia. I was just calling you because I finished your episode on the season 1 finale, A Land Without Magic, and I'm really emotional. It brought back such beautiful memories of when I watched that finale for the first time. It was just, I mean, I didn't, things, at least in my experience of television, the central premise of a show, which in this case seemed to be the curse and the flashbacks in between the fairy tale land and the real world, breaking didn't seem like it was going to actually happen. It seemed like that would be the whole show. And, and there would be, twists and turns. And eventually, the very end, the whole show,
Right.
it would be broken, and everyone would get to
Absolutely.
either stay in Storybrooke or go back to the Enchanted Forest, whatever they therefore chose. So when I watched this episode the day live, which I did watch it live, I'm pretty sure, I was left astonished that they broke the curse. They broke the central conceit of their show, and now magic was coming to our world, and it was such a cliffhanger, and it was such a huge cliffhanger, and then to have to wait all summer long for season 2 to know where they were going to go with this. It might be my favorite, like, season 1 finale of all time. Like,
wow.
Obviously you have to change the ending a little bit, but like, had the show only gotten 1 season, this season finale, Breaking the Curse, would have been satisfying. Now you'd have to cut the Magic is Coming, things like that. But like, had they not gotten renewed, this season finale could have been a series finale, and it would have been a great 1 season of television. And I always remember
that's what we said last week
so fondly in my heart. And thank you for creating a place where people can have these discussions about things that matter in this way. I've been thinking a lot lately about, and not to bring it down too much, but, you know, I keep it real. I've been thinking a lot lately about the pandemic, and, you know, we're coming to a better place, but then, you know, there are variants, and there's so much that we still don't know, and I worry about it a lot. And it's so, and I'm going to start crying.
I didn't do anything. That was the end of the voicemail, by the way. It literally, so for anybody who calls in, Google Voice will cut you off right at 2:59.
But we do not cut you off in our hearts at 2:59.
Not at all. And we have repeatedly in fact, we have it twice now, and we've had it in previous episodes where people just unafraid call back and continue because they're not done. And Jonathan does the same, and I'm glad that you did.
Okay, I'm really glad you did, though, because to leave us on a cliffhanger like
right
that
there,
would be
I was gonna say,
mean.
I saw the voicemail transcript, and I was like, oh no, this poor guy got cut off by the stupid Google Voice thing. But thankfully he called back and continued. But first of all, before we go on, excellent points, and we said almost the exact same thing last week.
Yep.
That was one of the best season finales in terms of like feeling, you know, like really resolved in what we wanted to happen, and it kind of did rush up at the end, but it was very simple. It wasn't trying to be more than what it needed to be, you know what I mean? And I think that's really, really powerful. And then you have to wait all summer, which that anticipation is why it came back to such high ratings, which we'll talk about again, but we'll let Jonathan finish his thoughts here.
Hey, it's Jonathan again. I got cut off. That's one way to keep me from getting too emotional, I guess. But my point being, and I'll sum it up really fast, is that having a show, a group of people reviewing and going over a show that brought so much hope and light to the world during a time that there is so much darkness and so much despair, it really brightens up my week so much to hear your voices and to hear the love and to hear the laughs. And it just means a lot to me. And I'm going to start crying again. So before I do that, I'm going to sign off. But I'm so, so happy to have the podcast and to have you two as virtual friends. I hope one day we get to meet and hang out and talk about all things Once Upon a Time in musical theater. And I hope y'all are doing well and stay safe. And I'll talk to you again soon. All my love.
We love you, Jonathan.
Oh my gosh. So I just want to say something really quick. So Jonathan says, you know, he loves listening to our podcast every week. You know, one of his highlights. He thinks that we're fun. We know Jonathan now because of the show, and I followed him on my Instagram, and Mackie follows him too on Instagram, and his page brings me joy every day. Every single day, he posts himself singing.
He does.
Beautifully, incredibly. He's so talented.
Guys, Jonathan has a beautiful voice. Spoilers.
And like, it's musical theater, so he's not over here singing Kesha.
Right.
If you ever do want to sing Praying by Kesha, I will support that. But it would sound great. But that brings me joy every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
like, I don't think that people realize how much joy they bring to other people every single day, because you don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't just randomly go, that made me smile so big.
Yeah.
Like, that would be weird, I guess. I try to make it a point now. I try to be a little bit more intentional, where when something catches my eye, like if I think that like your hair looks great, I want to make sure that you know that I think your hair looks great. Never comment on somebody's body. That's so inappropriate.
Right.
Good or bad. I hate when people do that. But you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, your outfit is so cute today. So like, Jonathan, you bring me joy every day with your music and your talent.
We're just out here spreading the love, y'all. I agree. Jonathan's social media does bring me joy as well. I am also a musical theater person. I come from musical theater in school, and that is kind of the background. That's how I got into entertainment in the first place. So I always have a special place in my heart for people who are still doing it and people who are spreading that talent. And it always makes me smile. My I have very talented friends and people that I've met because of, being on that path. And Jonathan is absolutely one of those people. And the fact that you shared with us, this, that the impact that we are having by even conducting the discussion, I didn't really put together that, like, at the time that we're talking about a show like this that is a lot about hope is at a time where we're still in the middle of like a weird time of our lifetimes, and it's not just this region, it's not just this country, it's the entire world trying to figure out how to deal with the aftermath or kind of the current situation, because we're not really done, as we can see. As of the time of this recording, we just found out that, we're kind of regressing a little bit, going backwards on, some mandates about masks are kind of getting put back into place. Which,
for everybody that's putting in the work. So if you're not putting in the work, please pause this show and put in the work.
Yeah, go find someone to stab you with a needle, please. But it's not just, this is going to be annoying again. It's sad to think about going backwards. You know what I mean? We were just like the amount of hope to, when we all heard that numbers were lightening and mask things were lifting, and we're talking about
break the curse, guys.
Yeah, it's really what it feels like. It feels like a real curse that is kind of starting to get lifted, and so to go backwards from that is really hard. It's stressful. It weighs heavy on people, and to hear someone talk about how our ridiculous project with this is just us like dicking around with this show. I didn't even put together what that would mean to people, that this actually is going to bring, remind people of the time where they watched this live and had to go through this journey with these characters, some of which are just filled with the same kind of despair that we have now, and figured out a way to rally together as a community and help each other and work together to get things done. And that it's not, even though it looks bleak and looks absolutely impossible, that sometimes that's just not how it's going to play out. Sometimes it's not going to be the worst case scenario. Sometimes it will eventually get to the other side, and people need that. So thank you for reminding us of that, Jonathan. You're right. There is a lot of darkness and despair out there, and it brightens us up just as much to hear from people like you, as much as, we apparently brighten up the week of people who hear our crazy voices during this show. So thank you very much. It really does mean a lot to us to hear you guys to say that. It does not just inflate our egos. Like, we really do. It validates that that's why we're trying to give back so much to you guys, because it validates that the reason why we're doing this show is not for us, it's not for money, it's not for fame. It is so that we all can have a place for
right
this.
Like, let's be real, if that's what it was really about, we would tell you to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and call it a day. We would not make the Discord. We would not.
Or to sign up for our Patreon and get some extra content for the Storybook Circus and
you
Lost.
Totally can do that, and you totally should do that. I think that would be a fantastic idea.
If you want, if you feel so inclined,
if you're feeling up to it.
But that's not like the main reason why we're doing it. We're so weird. Why are we like this?
Okay, let's be real. Why are we like this? It's 12:08 a.m.
That's true. We do this to ourselves. I have more voicemails if you would like to hear them. I have some more.
Yeah, I mean, press play.
These are shorter. This is Shay. Let's talk to Shay for the first time. You ready for this? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey guys, I was wondering if you guys would mind doing some bonus episodes where you read the actual fairy tales that the Once Upon a Time characters are based on. For example, I get the gist of Rumpelstiltskin, but I don't remember the exact story. So I was hoping you guys wouldn't mind doing a little research and doing some bonus episodes. Thanks. Bye.
Well, it's funny
he picks the like darkest, creepiest one.
Rumpelstiltskin
is so goddamn scary. Like,
but that is a good point. I don't know if we'll actually read the fairy tales, only because we probably won't have time, considering
I don't know how to read.
Yeah, really embarrassing to bring this up right now, but try not to blow up on the spot. But I've been reading everything for her. I write it out phonetically, so such a mess. We have a lot of other bonus material planned, like watching movies and doing this, and Lost,
but I would love to dive into these.
But it's interesting. I like the idea of just like making an episode dedicated to the similarities between, like, if we can just look up something and just like, you know, I'm sure someone has done this on the internet somewhere.
I promise you, Shay and anyone else, you don't want to hear either of us read a story.
Yeah. But we can talk about it.
Read about 6 books every single night to put my child to bed. And she sometimes will go, "Can we not read it? Can you just look at it?" And I'm like, am I that annoying?
God, your kid is hilarious. She's so savage. It's so funny to me.
Yeah. But I would totally love to like dive into these like stories and like do like quick little synopses on them, and then do like a compare and contrast. So join the Patreon and I will I'll get that going. I'll convince Mackie to show up for a couple minutes too.
Actually, we could do kind of little solo things like that too. I like that people in general are trying to contribute to bonus content for the purposes of this show in general. Just the fact that people are like, "Hey, I'd like to hear more than just watch the show," really makes me happy.
Yeah.
And so in response, like, yes, we'll do the work and you know, do some research and have some more content to talk about, because you guys are doing the work to come reach out and be like, "Hey, wouldn't this be cool?" Hell yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know? I'm writing it down on my notebook, guys. I'm doing it real time. Fairy tale theater is what I'm calling this.
In honor of you, our first one will be about Rumpelstiltskin.
Absolutely. For anyone who's over 25, Fairy Tale Theater is an actual show starring Shelley Duvall. You probably don't know who she is if you're not over 25. She was famously Olive Oil in Popeye, the live action Popeye with Robin Williams, among other things. She was the host, and what they did was they actually had that would actually be fun bonus content if we could look at some fairy tales that way and then like do that. Maybe that'll be like a movie club thing, because it's literally a stage play version of fairy tales with famous actors. So like Jeff Goldblum playing the big bad wolf from Three Little Pigs, and in Three Little Pigs, the pig who built his house with brick, Billy Crystal, like really big names. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It was made in the 80s, and it was so in the 80s and 90s, mostly the 80s. It was a big encouragement for like education in media. It was a lot of like targeted towards kids, like how to get kids excited through entertainment.
Yeah.
To learn things, not just mindless cartoons. So this was an initiative, I think, by a company like Shelley Duvall owned, to get kids to read. And so to get them excited about fairy tales and books, they did live reenactments of them to get them kind of jazzed on it. Aladdin, Pinocchio, Rumpelstiltskin, Three Little Pigs, like, and really elaborate stage play versions, really beautiful. So maybe I'll try and look those up and see if I can find them somewhere. That would be a fun Storybrooke, you know, Once Upon a Time related bonus movie club.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
For sure.
That's a really good idea. Thank you for that. So we have another little short one, random. I like these little short voicemails of just like, "Hey, what about this thing?"
Hey, am I crazy? Or does the Once Upon a Time on the title card eventually change from silver to gold? Do we know when or why that happens? I think it'd be crazy if that was to happen after like a King Midas episode. Don't think that happens. So just curious if you had any input into what happened there. Thanks.
Shay, Shay, you're doing better than the producers are. Why didn't they do this? This is a freaking amazing idea. That is such a good idea.
Yeah.
They're already doing these title cards where they're like changing the characters and making it something related to the show. I heard this voicemail. I did some research because I was like, I don't know. That kind of sounds like something that they could do. It turns out that all the way through the show, I checked every title card going all the way up to season 6. Every single title card stays silver. What you are remembering is that all of the marketing, the only instance that Once Upon a Time text shows up in silver is the title card. Every other instance of Once Upon a Time in all the marketing and all the posters and all the commercials and all everything is always gold. Silver is exclusively the
Bernstein Bears thing.
Yeah. Wait, what? What Bernstein Bears thing? Is there a Bernstein Bears thing?
The Mandala effect.
What does that mean? I don't know what that is.
What? You've never heard of the Mandala effect?
I'm sure I have, but I don't know. I can't pull it out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so quick rundown. It's when you remember something from, say, your childhood, and you swear to God, swear on your life that's what it is, and it's not. So the Bernstein Bears is like one of the most famous of it. The way that it's spelt is not how you remember it.
Oh, interesting.
Some movie. Yeah. There's a bunch of them, and hold on, but that is like very close to the Mandala effect.
So yeah, you're probably remembering the Once Upon a Time text and commercials and promos and social media and all that other stuff is all gold, and the title card is silver. However, before the show got picked up by ABC, or before it got picked up officially, a lot of times during pilots around that time, they don't have official graphics and things for it until kind of the season, the episode 2 happens, where they've put a whole package together because they know that the entire season is going to be produced. So I believe I found some early pre-release marketing material, which had everything in silver as well. And then eventually the real landed on marketing for the rest of the run it was always gold. Even in our logo, like our Storybook Circus logo is modeled after the posters, which is all gold, shiny gold with the little glints and stuff on it. So yeah, that might explain. But had they done like one gold title card on a King Midas thing as like a hidden Easter egg,
that would be hilarious.
Such a good idea. And I wish they would have listened to you because that would have been very cool.
Right?
Did you find it?
I did. So it is named the Mandala Effect after Nelson Mandela because he died in 2013, but countless people distinctly remember that he died in prison in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then
he was released.
There's like a bunch of like Looney Tunes, not tunes, like spelled differently. Bernstein versus Bernstein.
Interesting.
Curious George never had a tail.
What? Weird. Crazy.
It's Sex and the City, not Sex in the City.
Oh, they both could work.
Oscar Mayer,
Yeah.
Skechers, Fruit Loops, there's like just so many.
Wow. Oh, interesting.
I'm gonna send you the link.
Okay, yeah, maybe we'll put that up in the Discord and let other people chew on.
But yeah, it's a very interesting thing, and I have been affected by a lot of them. It's kind of like a form of like deja vu, I guess. Where you're just wait a second. But yeah, that's how I would feel about that silver and gold thing, and that would be hilarious to do it as a King Midas episode. Shay, you're really on top of it. The RSW thing, now this.
Crushing it, like really. And she's not done. We got one more.
Hey, I had maybe a theory for you guys. We talk about the lost numbers a lot on this show, and I was wondering if the number 7 was supposed to be added as a sort of once upon a time number. Because Regina mentions it when she's talking to Emma about Tallahassee. She says, like, the magic number is 7 places you've lived before. Of course, there's the 8 dwarves that were made 7, and I'm currently on episode 10 where they talk about 715. Is 7 supposed to be added in now as one of the kind of lost numbers? Does anyone know of any other references to the number 7? Just wondering.
So that is incredibly interesting. I am currently looking up a reference to like, Lost specifically, because 7 is, to my knowledge, not necessarily one of the numbers in the number code, but there were other patterns in Lost that included other things that it could have been.
I just always think of 7 as like the evangelical. I don't know how to say the word.
So the number 7 in the history of kind of
time
numerics and stuff always had a balance meaning of something, right? So in the case of religion, 7 was a holy number, but even outside of religion and philosophy and things, 7, or in Buddhism and other like kind of more theology neutral type of topics, even like 6s that are generally like not good numbers in our like Western culture. 6s do not mean the devil in non-religious context. They're actually positive things, right? So like 666 actually means something. I forget what it is. Who I think would know is probably Marissa, but there are some there are some several meanings to some of those depending on what you're studying at the time, and 7 does reappear in almost all of them. I mean, there's a reason why lucky number 7 is like the gambling number, right? And that's the number that represents like success and winning and all that other stuff. So what they are pulling from, who knows? Because I haven't read anything specific in that yet in the context of Once Upon a Time or these two guys or anything. But it's, now that you've brought it up, it's kind of would be interesting to kind of keep tracking.
Right, because it's a lot more than just a coincidence at this point. Like there's a lot. Yeah.
And you already brought up some really, really great ones. I'm also trying to like quickly find random things that have like meanings and stuff. And I mean, it does. It's a pretty deep philosophical conversation about like when patterns like that reappear. But anyway, that's something we can revisit that. But now that you've brought it up, I think it's worth putting a pin in and noting and seeing if we can find some more patterns like that, because I didn't notice quite as many as she talked about until she, actually enumerated them here, and I was like, oh man, actually, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of like interesting coincidences. So number 7, that'll be maybe we'll make that a drink in our drinking.
I guess, yeah.
So that will remind us to keep talking about it. So we have one more voicemail that was also broken up into 2 pieces. So we'll see where this goes, because I did not listen to this one, so this will be a surprise for me.
Hey, Isla and Mackie, it's Julia, also known as Juju Beans.
Juju Beans.
And I'm calling you from Tennessee. I think I've told you guys that before. I just listened to the finale episode for the second time. And I'm having a hard time putting my thoughts into like
you turn it off.
Coherent sentences, but
no.
I was a little nervous about calling the voicemail. I have
Don't be nervous, Juju.
As many people do. So I just decided to do it. I just love this show so much, and I love your podcast, and it has just become such a part of my life, and I didn't even realize it until I listened to this episode for the second time, and I realized how invested I am, not only in the Once Upon a Time show, but in the podcast and in your all's thoughts, and then getting on the Discord and seeing what everybody else's thoughts are. So I really want to thank you guys for creating such an awesome community for all of us to participate in, because it's just a highlight of my week every week. I'm going to get emotional. I love hearing you guys talk about all of your surprises, like you didn't remember the things that happened. And I just done a full 7-season binge watch of the show before your podcast came out, and so this stuff was kind of fresh in my mind. I did watch it when it was airing, but at that point I had...
Oh no. Didn't mean to do that. Hold on, let's find this back again. Yeah, that's as high as the volume will go. I was trying to get the volume higher.
I'm going to get emotional. Much of the show.
Can you still hear it though?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Before your podcast came out, and so this stuff was kind of fresh in my mind. I did watch it when it was airing, but at that point I had a toddler and I had
I heard that.
a newborn. So my brain was
did not hear that, but I heard the toddler.
My brain was scattered, so I didn't really remember the things too. So it's really cool to, like, when Graham showed back up, that was really cool. And so when you said that,
I did listen to this part.
Saying that he needed to go do 50 Shades, and I never watched those movies, so I really wasn't sure, like, when they came out. But I was like, was that Ben? Because I don't remember it being Ben, because I don't know. So I looked it up, and he actually left to do a different show, and 50 Shades didn't come till, like, he wasn't cast till 2013, so it didn't really overlap with the first season of Once Upon a Time. So I guess they really did just write him out to be writing him out. But it did make a big impact when he came back, and I really enjoyed seeing him again in the show. And I liked seeing your all's reaction, or hearing your all's reaction on the podcast of seeing him again. It was really cool. And I love how you guys are totally Josh Dallas and Ginny Goodwin shippers.
Google Voice just
we stand them forever.
We stand them.
Okay, but her
forever.
part 2 is another bomb drop.
Oh my god,
it's a good one.
I can't wait. That's crazy that we messed up that.
We messed this up for so long, and I'm kind of sad because I feel like it cheapened his writing.
Well, no, if he went to go do another show, it would have been the exact same thing. If his agent said you need to go do this other show, they still would have wrote him out the same way. But you mean, like,
other show worth
was it worth leaving? Yeah.
Leaving to go be Christian Grey is one thing.
Sure.
Leaving for a show that we don't even know what it is.
Okay, what is the penultimate version of that though? Damon Wayans Jr. getting written off of New Girl as one of the coolest characters ever as Coach, right? First of all, made room for Winston, which is amazing. And then he left to go do Happy Endings, which was a fantastic show, hilarious, amazingly cast, and got canceled. And then they wrote him back into New Girl, and then they had Winston and Coach. So I always think about that because I'm like, he got written off to go do some other project that failed miserably, like so much so that it didn't even get renewed. And then I went and watched the show, and I was like, why didn't it get renewed? This shit, it just was one of those things that just, like, didn't get support, but was so good. And it would have been worth it, but wasn't. It was like Will Smith not doing The Matrix to go do Wild Wild West.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's funny. Like, that stuff happens in Hollywood all the time, you know? I don't know. But I get what you mean, though. It does, like, it feels like, would it have been better if he hadn't done that dumb show and stayed on Once Upon a Time and then done, 50 Shades kind of. 2013 would have been season 3, I guess. Or the end of season 2. Like, we could have had more Graham. Like, we could have had it, Although his comeback was nice, but I wish that he could have been a part of everything getting messy, because he wasn't even around when things really got bad. Like, dude, that stuff about, like, potential murder with Catherine he would have been involved in, the friggin' sheriff thing, like, if he would have stepped down and that whole race and lighting buildings on fire, like, he would have been involved in all of that stuff. And it would have been so messy and delicious, and
I'm looking up what he left for.
Oh boy, juicy. Before we go
fall.
on, what is that?
I believe that's what the first episode
series.
Date was, May 13th, 2013. So
crime drama. Features Jamie
the psychological thriller examines the lives of 2 hunters. Interesting that he left being a hunter to be a hunter.
Well,
one is a serial killer who preys on victims in and all around Belfast, Northern Ireland, and the other is a female detective drafted for the London Metropolitan Police to catch him.
Oh my god, played by Gillian Anderson of X-Files fame.
Wow.
She was Scully. She was Scully. Crazy.
Oh my gosh. And Jamie Dornan, that's his name, right? Jamie Dornan. He is like a double life. Like, he's a father and a husband.
Oh my God, do we have to review this show too?
I don't know. I'm kind of interested in it though. Like
maybe we can binge it and do like a condensed review or something.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool just to see where it goes. Interesting. Thanks for bringing that up. Juju Beans for the win. All right, wait, let's do
Yeah, because we went through 23 episodes talking about how he left to go do 50 Shades of Grey. So thank you so much for just dropping.
That's a sexier story. Let's be honest. That's a much better. In fact, I'm still going to go with that story. We're going to pretend like the fall didn't happen and we're just going to be like, Mr. 50 Shades. All right, so let's hear the second part.
Hey guys, it's Julia again. I got cut off because I rambled. I just want to say, I'm just going to end this. I wanted to call back and say that you guys are awesome. I love the show. I cannot wait for season 2. And thank you for just being a bright spot in my life. Stay gold, stay rumple. Bye.
Oh man, these people are going to make us cry. We had 2 people in a row talk about the bright light that we are in their lives, and thanks for making this show. We had so many reservations about whether anyone was going to listen to the show when we started, and now we have people who are like, this meant a lot to me, and like, thanks.
You listened to our finale 2 times. I
Twice.
love that so much.
Second time she was listening to it. Thank you guys. Seriously, we cannot possibly thank you enough. I'm so glad YouTube gets to watch you yawn.
I know. Wow. Sorry.
You're never off the
I'm like
hook.
trying to like hide behind my microphone over
I
here.
totally
I'm like, no, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Oh, we're gonna get you like a little privacy slider, or you can just be like,
late.
Anyway, these voicemails, I mean, they made my day. I'm sure they made Alice's day too. Did they make your day? Because this is amazing.
They made my morning.
They made your early morning. Oh man, that was the longest Storybrooke Daily Mirror we have ever had. Period. Right?
Literally.
I'm pretty sure. Let's see. That's it. We had
literally
Instagram DMs. We had our voicemails. And obviously, before we close out the Storybrooke Daily Mirror, we want to encourage everyone, if you'd like to hear more and more bonus content, as we've alluded to a couple times, it will be on patreon.com/the SBC pod is where our movie club is going to go. We're going to be doing Hamilton up next. And that's where our Hatching Up with Lost podcast is, where we do this exact same format with Lost, and we review every episode one at a time. That's a brand new, fresh show. So we've done episode 1 is already up there. We're going to be doing episode 2 in the next couple days, and that'll be going up soon too. And then we also have, see you hiding. We also have season 1. Once Upon a Time recap. So we're going to be talking timeline. We're going to be talking, maybe some contributions from our Discord and Brookie friends. Hopefully, maybe if people have answered some of these questions about what character you would be and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be doing all things season 1 recap coming up soon on Patreon as well. So if you want the bonus stuff, patreon.com/the SBC pod. So now we're going to talk about the show pre-show information, which contains a nice hefty set of production notes, as it is the very beginning of season 2. What we are going to do in real life, which will have nothing to do with you, is we're going to go to sleep right now. We're going to take a very short pause that you will not even notice. And then we're going to come back fresh and bushy-eyed in the morning. And you may see our video lighting will change a little bit, but you're going to pretend like nothing is different, because that's what we do on soap operas, right? Suspension of disbelief. Well, we'll do a little suspension of disbelief on the show. How do y'all feel about that?
Suspend my disbelief.
And Isla will sing us into glory. So we're going to take our brief pause, and then when we come back, we will talk about all things season 2, episode 1. And the title of the show is Broken.
I want to say bye, but it's going to sound so silly when I say bye, and then it's immediately hi.
Oh, you don't have to say bye. You're just gonna hard bleep it. In fact, I'm gonna put up bars and tone, like a TV station that messed up, like dropped a camera or something.
Yeah.
Like technical difficulties or something. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about season 2.
Every time that happens, before we sign off, I picture the live action Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers. Where he's doing the baking show and he chops, I think, his tail off and he goes, son of a, and it bleeps out because it's a children's show to that screen.
Yep, that's us. That is totally us. And now we'll have time to rehearse our sign off before the next portion of recording.
Spoiler, we're literally not going to rehearse it. Bye. See you tomorrow.
And we're probably not going to get it right either. All right. Well, we're going to go to sleep and then we'll be back. So brief pause.